everybody. Welcome to Something Something Broncos Draft Spectacular. And I can hear myself.
Draft
Or sorry,
spectacular.
no, it's not. I can hear myself. There we. Hold on. I, this is all weird. Oh, well, this is the not the draft spectacular. I apologize. I can hear my own voice in my headphones, and it is causing me to lose my
Yeah,
mind.
turn
There
the
we go.
stream off. There you go.
There's a stream. It's off. Sorry, chat room. I won't be able to follow it. So let's start over. Hi, welcome to the Something Something Broncos schedule release Twitch spectacular. I'm Jess Place, joined by Tim Lynch. Laurie Lattimore-Volkmann is missing. We don't know where she is. She was supposed to be here like 15 minutes ago. So if you see her out and about, tell her that coronavirus is out there, and she should be on the Twitch stream with us right now. So, let's see here. It is 10 minutes after 7, and or
Or
after
10
or
minutes after 5.
5 after 5 on in Mountain Time Zone. Guess where I live. And the schedule will drop here in about 20 minutes, but there have been a few leaks. Tim, you want to walk us through the 3 leaks that we know so far?
Yeah, the big one is week 1. The Broncos will again be at home on Monday Night Football, the second game, which sucks, especially for you East Coasters, Jess.
Yeah. That game ends about 2 o'clock in the morning for me,
So
so
call it
that
Tuesday morning football.
should be good. Yay! Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't remember. Did they win or lose that game against the Raiders last year? I think they lost. I'm trying to put all that first part of the season last year on a memory.
It doesn't
But
doesn't
they're going to
matter.
win
It's
this
in the
game
past.
because
It's in the past.
the Titans went to they went to the playoffs. I kind of remember, but
Yeah, they
they're
did.
going to
They did.
regress.
Remember the
Yeah,
the Tannehill experiment worked for them.
yeah. Well, they're going to regress. They're going to be a bad football team, and this primetime game is not going to be one of the marquee games that you'll see on primetime, but it is for us because it's the Broncos. We'll get our first taste of Drew Lock and Jerry Jeudy and that whole offense. It's just I just hope they come out and put up some points. I don't expect them to be mid-season form, but yeah, I don't know if they'll even be a game. But if there is, I'm just excited. We're going to see Drew Lock, Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy, KJ Hamler, Philip Lindsay, Melvin Gordon, Noah Fant. It's just gonna be fun to see them on the field together. And when it's midnight for you hopefully you're into it.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than like 10 o'clock rolling by and you're like, yeah, we're almost there. We're almost
We're
there. Ten
almost there.
o'clock at night. Like now it's time to start making the popcorn. Let's do this. Yeah. So the third game, though, right? The third game is the Saints game. Is that right? That we know about.
We don't have any leaks. I don't know. Let me check real quick because those come in whenever.
Fast and Furious.
Um, there's been a couple updates, a couple of new ones here. Um, I don't see any Broncos though. It's like Broncos have just been boring. But no, week 10, November
We need better
15th.
insiders that can leak this stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, like come on, guys, like start working the phones. You got 18 minutes before it actually drops for real. Now might be the time to go ahead and do something.
Well, in week
Tell me
10,
when you're.
November 15th, we got the Las Vegas Raiders. The Broncos will be on the road, which is pretty exciting, I think.
Not really
Get
on the road. I don't know.
That's why it's
Vegas, the
exciting.
Vegas thing is now changed. It's going to be like kind of like a Chargers thing. It's going to be full of Broncos fans. Like there will be a hearty showing in the black hole, but I think it's going to be a lot of orange. I think it's going to be Disneyland for the NFL.
Man,
Goodbye
I
any
hope
home
so.
field
I
advantage that the
hope
Raiders ever
so.
had.
For the Raiders to just give up home field and become the Chargers of the AFC West again, that would be that'd be freaking outstanding. So I'm hoping for it. That's why I'm excited about it. We'll know by week 10 if the Raiders' home field advantage is a joke.
Well, I
Um,
was just receiving some texts from my brother-in-law who the latest one Raiders are pretty loaded. Believe it if you will.
okay,
So you look out, Broncos country. The Raiders. This is going to be the year,
this
not
is the
every
year,
year after
guys.
2003 forward. So they had one good year. They had one good year. I'll give you the one playoff appearance, not victory. Still working on that first win, but you guys might get there. Who knows? Probably not.
Yeah, probably not.
Can we go ahead and check the Laurie watch, or have we found Laurie yet? Is
No,
she
no
still
Laurie. But
no Laurie?
so the other game that leaked
Oh, is that
was
Laurie?
week
There's
12.
Laurie. No, that's not. That's your wife.
That's my wife.
Hi, wife. Would she like to
Um,
sit in as our guest spot until Laurie gets here? Oh my gosh, there's another guest.
that's my kiddo.
Hi.
She has to do a chore. She's not happy about it.
Oh my gosh.
So we do have a third leak. Week 12, um, the Broncos will host Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints. That is on November 29th. That'll be a 2 o'clock game Mountain Time on Fox. So, you know, by then, Drew Brees will probably be in midseason playoff form. So the Broncos better bring their A game. But the good news is they'll be in Denver. So, um, that I like those games against non-conference opponents, against good football teams. You know, I don't know. Has Drew Brees ever even beat the Broncos? I don't think he has. I think that's like the only
I know
team
his.
he
Yeah, that's
hasn't
a
beaten.
stat. Yeah, his Saints I know have never done it. But I'm thinking back to when he was with the Chargers. I know that game in 2005 where he was injured. I was there. He did not win that game, and so there's got to be like I don't know a couple. You gonna check it out there?
I'm gonna
A
try. I
little
mean,
little giggling. That's
he's
good.
got 2 wins against the Broncos, so that must have been when he was the Chargers. But he's got 8 losses. So with the Saints, he and his coach has never beaten the Broncos. So I'd like to keep that streak. Keep
Yeah,
that streak going.
I'm all for it. Yeah, God knows we killed enough of our streaks and the things that made being a Bronco fan great, like the no back-to-back losing seasons and no
No
shutouts and
shutouts. Yeah.
yeah, like we kind of killed all those kind of fun things. So hopefully we can keep it going. Drew Brees will be, I believe, wait, the game is in November, right? You said.
Yeah. End of November.
Okay, so that'll be right after his 76th birthday. So he may not make. Hey, there's Lori. We found her. We found Lori. She is trying to get into the chat room. Tim, should we let her in?
Where is the chat room?
She's in our Slack chat. She
Oh,
said,
well,
"How do I get in?"
click.
I mean, the link is there.
Yeah, the link
She
is
just
there. I
she
don't
just
know.
missed it. She's there. It is. Oh, there's Lori. Lori, welcome to the show. Something
Thank
Something
you.
Broncos. Uh, uh, schedule release spectacular live on Twitch.
I gotta fix some things here.
Um, go ahead.
I'm trying.
Looks good to me. Well, Lori, would you like to share with our audience where you've been? We were worried.
Making dinner, making sure my youngest will lighten up and do what he's supposed to do instead of arguing with me.
You're like, my adoring public needs me now, and here I am with you. And you don't even know how good you've got. Would you like me to break down the schedule, youngster?
Yeah, exactly. So the thing is, I like to use their bedroom for all the podcasts because that's the one with all the orange and blue walls and the Von Miller fathead and all my Broncos paraphernalia is in their room. And he's like, "You're using our room? What are we gonna do?" I'm like, "You're not even in your room." Yeah, but what if we need to go in there? Like,
what if I need to come in and adore my Von Miller fathead? I can't.
For the first time in months. Yeah. So.
Maybe that's why they're so surly. Maybe that because you're like always in their room.
Yeah. Tell you, kids.
It's the only quiet place in the house because you're not in there.
Exactly.
You're gonna have to start doing something like put a necktie on the doorknob so they know not to come in when they're broadcasting.
And then when they learn what that really means in college, and be like, how did my mom know about that?
Oh my god! What's she doing with a necktie? Yeah, no, it's yeah. Well, actually, I'm going to go ahead and suggest that Tim do that too. Tim's significant other and daughter both photobombed the broadcast already. But it's okay because it started. I'll just bring you up to speed. It started off terribly because as soon as I started talking, there was like I could hear myself in my headphones, and my eyes went crossed, and I didn't know where I was. And I started babbling, and I was like, "Welcome to the draft," and that was not right. Tim was like, "The draft," and I'm like, "I don't know what's going on." It was all very strange.
This is what happens when we've all been quarantined.
I know.
For too
Well,
long.
it really, Laurie, you're kind of the linchpin upon which the show rests. So,
oh dear.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's
hit it.
We couldn't do it without you. We tried.
Well, we did talk about all of the games that were leaked, so maybe you have some comments to add. So
I don't no. You'll have to catch me up on what was leaked, because all I saw was essentially it looked like what Vic Lombardi knew versus what Woody Page had said versus Mike Kliss basically contradicted each other. So
Yeah,
well,
there are
confirmed.
insiders, and they're who we have to listen to. So and they were wrong. So
they were wrong
across the board.
You're on the East Coast too, so this will matter to you. Broncos hosting the Titans at 11 p.m. Eastern on Monday Night Football Week 1.
Oh, of course. Of course we are. We did that. Who did we host last year? The first Monday night
Raiders.
game. Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they lost, so you guys stayed up for nothing.
That was terrible.
Yeah, and then my brother-in-law was up my butt about it, like nonstop. Like, the Raiders are going to sweep you this year, and then they just.
Didn't they?
Yeah.
No, the Raiders did what the Raiders do.
They lost by a point, and then
where are the Raiders going to play this year?
In a toilet bowl shaped stadium.
Allegiant.
But is it going to be done? I thought that it might not be done.
Well, then they'll play in like UNLV or something, and then it'll be like 20 people in the stands. They won't have any. They might need tarps, but they won't.
Done.
Yeah.
I can't wait for that.
Well,
Go
that's
UNLV Raiders.
Well, that's the other game that was leaked was the Broncos at the Vegas Raiders on November 15th in Week 10. So by then, the stadium should be done if there's a season.
Right.
Why do you got to preface it like that? Like the NFL.
Because we have to remind people that we're not living in a hole, and we do know that this is this is all for fun right now. This whole little Thursday night schedule release is just so we can all, because we've already watched the latest episode of The Last Dance. We need something else to talk about.
That's
for
true.
A few
well,
hours.
I think the season will happen. It might just be abbreviated. A 1982 style 9-game season might be in order, but who knows? We're gonna pretend like it's gonna happen.
Like that. Do they just chop off the first 6 games, or 7 games?
Yeah.
And you just play.
You just play the final, and then the math works as the math works. If your season's stacked with all of the best teams at the end of your season and all your cupcakes are at the beginning, you're kind of screwed. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, well,
better luck next year.
Or vice versa, because if they do a delayed start, they may just start with the division game. Like, see, when we get the schedule, we'll be able to see like some of the forethought like that goes into planning around the pandemic. So they can chop and cut, and so I am guessing you'll have division games kind of heavily weighted in the beginning, and then division games heavily weighted in the end, so that they can maneuver it. Yeah, maneuver it. So if they have to get rid of some, it's their division games and
yeah, but see, how much you want to bet the Broncos will have all home division games early, and then they'll be at the Chiefs in December, at the Raiders in November, at the Chargers,
But they could
not playing Miami.
They'll have to still make it fair that you don't have you're not playing essentially 6 games away and 2 at home.
I don't know. I think the NFL would cater to certain teams.
Oh, like maybe the Chiefs?
Exactly.
Arrowhead in December, every game.
We seem to get that a lot, and we don't seem to get a whole lot of Chiefs in December. Mike Kliss, Broncos back on Sunday Night Football, playing the Chiefs in Arrowhead, Week 13, December 6th. There you go.
There it is. There it is.
It's almost... It's like we just predicted that. We are so smart. Let's predict another one.
Well, I would say
Chargers
Miami early in the season,
3.
but the Miami game is supposed to be in Denver, so that will probably be later. So which might benefit us a little bit, but we don't usually play well against Miami, but especially not in Miami. So,
is Tampa going to be an away game or a home game?
I think Tampa is. I don't know. Let me look.
I mean, Tom Brady's like 600 years old. I'm not worried about Tampa.
It would not.
Oh,
It would not be a something something Broncos episode if I didn't completely drop all my schedules all over the floor.
right. So go ahead. Did you do
So
Oh,
I
here's
did.
another schedule leak. Now they're coming in
Uh-oh.
hot and heavy.
Uh-oh.
Broncos at home against Chris Harris and the Chargers on November 22nd.
it? Ooh,
The
that's
Tampa
right
game
before
is
Thanksgiving.
a home game in Denver.
Is that it? That's not a Thanksgiving game, is it? Thanksgiving Day?
No, wouldn't be Thanksgiving.
It could be.
Well, the evening game maybe. It's
No, it just says November 22nd, so that'd be a Sunday.
How do you know?
I got the schedule set up in my in my I'm all over this schedule stuff.
Well, I'm
We've-
saying, how do you
We've
know
been here,
November
Laurie.
22nd?
We've been doing the show.
From what I understood, you weren't doing a very good one, though.
No, well, now that
Oh,
now
here we
that I'm
go.
not hearing myself.
Dolphins have back-to-back road games on the West Coast in October, San Francisco and Denver. I don't have dates, but you had mentioned.
I would like to geographically challenge that statement.
I know. I mean, in relation to Miami, I guess it would be West
I mean,
Coast.
global warming being what it is, maybe in a few hundred years it could be coastal, but not quite. And yes, it is a Sunday. November 22nd is a Sunday.
Hey,
All right.
don't doubt me. I'm all over this. This is like
Yeah.
my Christmas right now. I'm
Yeah.
So wait, December 6th is at Arrowhead, right?
I don't know.
And then
I
November 22nd was in Denver
Yep.
versus Chargers.
We should have someone write that down. Write that down, Tim.
I'm writing-
I'm
I'm
updating a
writing.
post right now
And then,
with that information.
what was what's the week 1 date? Do we know what that Monday night is?
9/14.
Okay. September 14th, Monday Night Football at...
See, I told you to put a tie on the door.
I know. Goodness gracious. Okay. Monday Night
everything
Football
okay?
at 11.
Do you need us
Yeah.
to call? You need us to call for help? Are you in danger?
I got it. What's my safe word? Chargers.
That's no one's safe word. No one would have that. That's not a thing.
I don't know if they turned the light on. I don't think the lighting's better. Oh well.
It seems better. Just is
okay,
getting
good.
darker and darker and darker.
11 or the second, the very last game of week 1 we play. And then when was the other Monday night game?
This is Sunday Night Football against the Chiefs on December 6th. It's the only one I have.
Well, we didn't have a Sunday night football game.
No, the
except for
Titans. When do we play the Titans?
That's the Monday
Week
night
one,
game. The
week
second
that's
Monday
the
night
Monday.
game.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Or you could call it Tuesday morning.
Right. And we will. Yeah. It's over at like 2 a.m. It's unbelievable.
It's awful.
2:30.
Just awful. Why would they do that to us? I feel like I get it. Like we're, the most compelling coastal football team on the West Coast.
It's true. But you'd think they'd do like Seattle or somebody that's even on Pacific time.
Right? I don't know.
Looks like they'll play the Jets in week 4 on Thursday Night Football.
Oh.
Thursday Night Football. Yeah.
Yay. Adam
Is it
Gase.
at the Jets or at home?
At the Jets, it looks like.
Well, that's at least not a bad time to be in New York.
Should I do my Adam Gase impersonation?
Yes, please. I don't think you shouldn't move the eyes. I think you just have to bug them out and keep them there.
Kind of like the guy with the shrunken head from Beetlejuice.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. We got odds too. Broncos 3-point
Oh.
favorites over the Titans in week 1.
Yeah, take that, Tennessee. Ooh. Oh, wow.
Spot on and accurate, Jess. John
Always.
told you in
But
chat.
+3, that's like essentially for being
Home
at
field
home,
advantage.
right?
Yeah.
So it's
Hey,
not
hey,
really much of an advantage.
I mean, if they win by 3, do they win?
It is kind of an odd call to have Tennessee. Usually they have two West Coast
rivals.
West Coast teams, at least Western U.S. teams. And so the poor
Come on,
Titans
1
fans are going
minute.
to have
Let's
to be up late
go.
too.
You know why it is? Because they try to have games that were either like they have the Super Bowl matchup again, and they have some rival games, and then ours probably because we just trounced the Titans. What was it, 15-0, 13-0? I don't know. They were
at some point, and then they
Oh.
try to battle back.
No,
we shut them
that
out.
was the
That's
shutout.
right. That's when we shelved Mariota. That's right. Yes.
So I think this is probably their idea of like give the Titans the revenge game opportunity.
Oh my God. I'm refreshing the Broncos schedule page and I just got a 404. Like,
Oh,
oh, sorry,
come on,
that's
guys.
funny.
Why are you doing this to me? I need this schedule, man.
So, funny story. I have a friend who's a professor who, for a student who turned in on his paper, he actually wrote 404 error.
Week
no
5.
paper.
Are you sure it's not plagiarized?
Yeah, it probably is.
I had a business of entertainment paper that I wrote in college, and wrote the whole thing, did the whole thing, went to print it off the next morning, and there were like 3 words, like something like I don't know, something had happened, and it deleted out like everything, all of it, except for like 3 words. And so I went and I turned it in
Oh my gosh.
to my business entertainment teacher, and he was just like, "What is this?" And I'm like, "Hey, you said no late papers. This is what I got."
All right, we got the schedule. Nikki Javala just tweeted it out.
I like her.
All right, let's hear it.
So week 2 is at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Week 3 is
give the day, Sunday morning, right?
I'm not.
Morning,
I don't know. You'll have to pull it up. I gotta post this now. And then
all right,
home against the Bucks, at the Jets, at the Patriots, home against the Dolphins.
The Patriots.
All right. All right, Tim, you post. Jess and I'll talk.
Okay. And I don't want to hear myself again, so I'm just gonna sit here and nod while Laurie pulls it up. Because
all right. So week 1 versus the Titans Monday night. Week 2 at the Steelers. That's a pretty good time to go to the Steelers, I think.
So that'll be the early game.
Yes,
right.
11 a.m. Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Then week 3 is versus the Bucks in Denver. That's nice too.
Yeah. So yeah. Unfortunately, Gronk will still be healthy, assuming he makes it out of training camp alive. So
that's true. But we could be the game that he tears a hammy.
It usually is. Happen. Actually, that's
Yeah.
Then or he'll get waylaid buying CBD in downtown Denver.
Yeah. Then we have 2 away games at the Jets, and then on Thursday. But then we have on Thursday, October 11th. Then 10 days later, we go to the Patriots on Sunday, October 11th. So that's probably not bad either. October 11th in New England.
They probably will have realized that Stedman, what's his name?
Yeah.
Oprah's boyfriend is not a good quarterback. By that. What's his name? Stead.
I don't know.
Stedman. It's Oprah's boyfriend.
Then week 6, then we have 2 home games. Dolphins week 6 and Chiefs week 7. We have the Chiefs right before a bye. That's maybe week 8 is our bye. So that's a nice bye, except it'd be nice to have the Chiefs maybe after a bye.
Is there anything that you can see in the schedule that's like
okay, so all right. So then week 9 we're at Atlanta. Then week 11 we're at the Raiders. I'm sorry, week 9 we're at the Falcons. Week 10 we're at the Raiders. Week 11 we're against the Chargers. That's the Sunday game against the Chargers that we already knew about. Then we go to the Saints. So we do 2-2-2. It's like 2 home, 2 away, 2 home. So week 11 is home with the Chargers. Week 12 is home versus the Saints. And then week 13 is at the Chiefs. And week 14 is at Carolina, Sunday, December 13th. And then week 15 is against the Bills at home. And week 16, we travel to the Chargers. And then week 17, we end with the Raiders again.
They're playing on my birthday on against the Raiders. I couldn't ask for more.
Well, when you look at so we definitely have more, Raiders, Chargers, Chiefs in the second half for sure.
And so that's what they were thinking, I think, is
Yeah.
My brother-in-law, not aware that I'm currently doing a schedule release spectacular on Twitch, just texted me to let me know that the Broncos are playing on my birthday against the Raiders.
That is a good birthday present.
He's on it. Yeah. He's very excited, I'm sure.
All right, so let's go through this. Let's do our who wins, who loses. Week 1 versus the Titans.
Is Tim ready, or do we need to fill some more here?
Mic on.
Well, we got to move ahead.
I'm working on it. There's a lot of things I have to do when this thing gets published here, but I'm just about done. I can do.
This is real-time blogging. This is.
I'm working.
Where the magic happens. Yeah.
Yeah, but we don't want to. Our audience
I'm
doesn't
done.
care if we just fill time. They'd rather us talk about this.
So when you're done, Laurie will go in and proofread, and and here in a couple days, I'll go on Facebook and promote it.
I think my reaction to the schedule is Chiefs in December suck. That just annoys me. They do that on purpose every year.
Every year they do. Well, just like we always get a Monday night game, though. I mean, it's just kind of how things are.
Yeah. In the 90s, I went to a lot of Broncos. I would always go in December, and we were always playing the Chiefs at home. And it was probably for the same reason. We always beat them. We were better. The NFL was probably, helping us keep that alive a little bit. And now the table has turned, and they got to promote the Chiefs, so they got to give them the home field advantage in December. Sucks, but it's the way of life.
I don't like the NFL. I love the NFL.
Let's hope it's a riveting 9-6 victory for the Broncos, so that they don't ever do that again.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, there's been a couple of those in the history, that's for sure. All right. Tim, are you ready to lend your brain to prognostication here?
Pretty much.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna get a piece of paper out so that I can keep track of it. I pulled it up on my phone so that I don't screw anything up here in the live Twitch broadcast. So. All right. All right. So here I'm gonna write a column. I got Tim. Okay. And then I've got Laurie. You hear me writing? Sounds very official. I paid extra for a microphone that would do that. Okay. All right. So, week 1 against the Titans. Win? Loss? It's a
win.
Late one.
It's a win.
Absolutely a win.
I'm going to say loss.
What?
Yes.
You're terrible.
Well, I don't have a good feeling about it.
I'm going to kick you off this stream.
In the cockles of my heart, it doesn't feel right. So I'm just going to say no. I'm going to say no. All right. Broncos at Steelers. I would love to break Big Ben's heart yet again, assuming he's not injured already. I'm going to say that.
I'm going to go with the Broncos.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Laurie?
I'm gonna go with a loss.
Gasp. No. All right. Well, Tim, why a win? Laurie, why a loss?
Because it's the Steelers. I feel like at Pittsburgh, we don't play so well.
I'm saying a win because there's some tough games down the road, and I want the Broncos to win 10 games.
Are you sandbagging some losses later that you're going to predict? Is that why?
Yes.
Okay, that's fair.
I mean, you have to, There's no choice.
That may be why I chose the Titans. I don't know. Week 3, Broncos host the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski. I'm going to go ahead and say that is a win because Tom Brady can't play in
Sucks in
Denver,
Denver.
without pooing his little pants.
I'm going to say it's a win too because Tom Brady is too old to play football, and Rob Gronkowski has spent the last year partying and losing weight. So I just don't think I think they're the most overhyped team in the NFL, and they're going to probably not finish 500 in my opinion.
Would you say on par with the 2019 Cleveland Browns, more or less? Are on par?
More, absolutely. It's
You
like
think more? Yeah.
everybody's like Tampa's a Super Bowl contender because 43-year-old Tom Brady's the quarterback. Okay, okay. I'm sure they said the same thing about the Brett Favre-led Jets. Just get out of here. Goodbye.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, Laurie. Did loss win? What do you think?
Oh, win for sure.
Win.
I don't think
Okay.
Tom Brady and Gronk are not going to be playing well in Denver again.
Ever again. Okay, moving on. We got Broncos at Jets, week 4. That's the Thursday night game, October 1st.
You all need to
Ugh.
keep track of your records. I'll keep
I
track of
am.
mine.
No,
I'm
I've got it.
Okay.
I've got look here.
Oh, you're keeping track.
I
Okay.
am. I'm just keeping track of wins, and then through the miracle of math, I will deduce how many losses you have predicted.
Good luck with that.
Right.
All
All
right.
right. At the Jets on a Thursday night. Ooh. I'm going to go win because it's the Jets.
I'm actually gonna go loss because it's Thursday night football.
I knew. That's a good reason, honestly.
Yeah.
Thursday night games are terrible.
And it's the East
Ooh.
Coast. Freaking hate the East Coast.
And we will have just beaten Tom Brady.
Yeah.
It's a trap game. Oh, it was a win, and now I thought about it, and now I think it's a.
It's okay. We're
No.
gonna come back and sweep the Raiders, so we'll be good.
Okay. All right.
Okay,
Sam Darnold.
okay.
All right. No, I'm gonna say we're gonna win because it's the Jets.
It's Thursday night football. I'm telling you.
Shut your face.
That's right.
Okay. All right. So we're locked in. Okay. So far, 3 wins. 3 wins going into week 4. So we've all predicted 1 loss so far.
And we're already better than
right?
the last 4 years. So.
That's right.
Super Bowl. I'm just gonna call it now, guys. We're going to the Super Bowl. Okay. Okay. Broncos at Patriots.
So the Patriots and the Bucks are going to be racing each other to 500, and I'm going to go with the Broncos in this game. I don't even know who their quarterback is.
And neither does Jess, and I certainly don't.
And Jess lives like down the street from Foxborough.
I know, he can't pronounce the
boyfriend.
name.
Steddard.
Nobody knows.
He doesn't even know.
So,
all right. What do you got? What do you got, Laurie?
For the same reason that Tim picked a loss the week before, I'm going to pick a loss. I think we could beat the Patriots, but they're in our heads. It's in New England. It's East Coast in the morning after a bye. This is not our best.
10 days to prepare, though.
Well, they don't prepare for 10 days. They take off. We're always sluggish on that game after a bye. And it's East Coast in the morning, and they suck playing at that time of day.
Well,
I don't know if I've ever been as disappointed in you as I am right now.
I know. I'm sorry.
I mean, they were early against the Steelers too.
I know.
And you had them.
And I picked a loss.
I know. It's like that's.
Is it because your kids kicked you out of your usual broadcast space? Is that why?
They don't have Von Miller vibe.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna go victory because I live here, and damn it, Denver, I need this. I need this for me. I got the stickers on my car. I don't hear about it as much now that the COVID keeps everybody away. At the grocery store, but come on, guys, counting on you. I'm flying your flag here. Okay, thanks.
Okay.
All right. We have then week 6, Broncos at Dolphins, Sunday,
Easy
afternoon
win.
game.
That's a win.
We're gonna blow them out. It's gonna be like 42-10.
Or Dolphins at Broncos, excuse me. But yes.
That will be one of those games where Von Miller comes out and we're going to kick their asses and we'll beat them.
But he only says that after we've embarrassed ourselves. You never notice that? So.
Well, we're not gonna have any Von Miller kick their asses comments because they're just gonna be winning a lot of games. And,
okay.
you know.
Well, all right. So here we are at week 6. Tim has predicted 5 wins, Laurie 4, and me 5, because I also think that the Dolphins are going to lose. It's okay. It's going to be good. Okay, here we go. Now we're getting into like kind of like the nasty part. We got Broncos versus Chiefs. October 25th.
Win.
You know, monkeys are hard to get off your back, as the old saying goes. So I'm going to say the era of Chiefs dominance over the Broncos is soon coming to an end, but they're going to get one more win out of it on the road in Denver, and it's going to be in week 7. But their reign over us is ending soon.
Are you predicting
ending soon, like in 2021 then?
Yeah.
We're not skipping ahead to week 13. Let's stay on task.
I'm no Sherlock Holmes, but I believe that you just said that the Chiefs are going to sweep us.
No, I didn't. I said they're going to drop the first game. We haven't got to week 13. Let me.
Well, you didn't have very much
the Broncos in week 13.
I have things to say soon, just not yet.
All right, Tim wins for eternal optimism.
All right. So Tim says no. Laurie,
eternal optimism. I predicted a loss.
Well, week 13.
The optimism for consistency.
I pick win.
Laurie notching her 5th win of the season
against the Chiefs
in week 7.
We're gonna be 5-2 heading into the bye.
I'm gonna say, okay, so this is my thinking, is that we need to at least split with the Chiefs, and if there is any way that we split with the Chiefs, it's because we win this game, because we do not win an Arrowhead in December. So I'm gonna say this is a win.
You're so pessimistic.
Broncos are gonna be 6-1.
We have Buzz Lightyear now, so we'll get to that soon.
Okay. All right. Moving forward. Week 8. I believe the Denver Broncos are going to win.
Yeah, me too.
They're going to tie.
All right. Moving forward. I do like that the bye week is week 8.
I do too.
That's
me
nice.
too.
That's perfect. That's like
I don't like it when it's week 7 or earlier. I like it any time after week 8 because later in this year is when you need it.
Week 10, right? Somewhere it was kind of a little later.
I like it.
Week 10.
That works too. I hate it when it's like week 4.
Oh, that's the worst one.
Just when you start getting going and then it's like, everybody take a break. Yeah. Broncos at Falcons.
Win.
I'm going to say a loss.
Yeah, I'm going to say a loss too. I don't think we beat the Falcons. And I don't know why. Like, just last few times we played them, like I always get my hopes up.
Yeah, but they don't have as good a coaching. They don't have.
But their start time.
Who's their quarterback?
Matt Ryan.
He's like 75. So no.
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 Okay.
All right. Anyway, I'm going with a win. Screw you guys.
I'm gonna find that Broncos video. I guess the Broncos hype video is pretty cool. We gotta watch it.
Oh, okay. Okay, week 10. Week 10, Broncos at Raiders, win?
Yes, absolutely a win.
That's our second home game. Our first home game.
Broncos at UNLV, win?
Yep, easy win. The Raiders are gonna be so bad this year. It's gonna be funny.
It might actually be at the Thomas and Mack Center. It might be like an indoor football game.
Field hockey.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we'll see the Raiders fold as a franchise before we even get to week 10. But,
no,
wishful thinking.
No, I like having them as our rival.
I don't.
No, I don't wish the Browns like demise upon any team. Like, remember the Browns?
That's only because you like your brother-in-law.
Don't tell him.
All right. So, going into week 11, Broncos versus Chargers.
Win.
Win.
Yeah. Win.
All wins.
All right, so week 11, here we are. Tim says 7 wins. Laurie has 8 wins, and I have 8 wins. So we're doing pretty good. Like we're like leading Sports Center at this point. Like this is like the unstoppable Denver Broncos at 8-3 are about to roll into Broncos versus Saints.
Loss.
I want to say win, but I'm going to say a win.
I think that's good. I'm also going to say win just because Drew Brees with the Saints hasn't ever beaten us. So why is he going to start now?
Yeah, especially when the team's actually good.
Wait, what's Teddy Bridgewater's record against us?
He had 7 sacks and a loss in 2015. So 0-1.
All right. Broncos at Chiefs, December 6th.
Loss.
Loss.
But it's going to be an exciting overtime, like almost there, and then from then on, it's a gamer between the Broncos and Chiefs in 2021.
Brandon McManus misses a 30-yard field goal. It's lose.
Why you got to be like that? Why not just have Patrick Mahomes like throw a last-second touchdown because he's Patrick Mahomes, you know?
Because instead it's like, oh my gosh, scrambling out of the pocket. Pass to Demarius Thomas. No, and he drops him. Oh, God. You know, that's usually how it goes.
Case Keesum.
Yeah. Oh, boy. Okay. Moving forward. Broncos at Panthers. Win. They are a complete disaster of a franchise now.
Yeah, win.
Yeah, total win. Like. Okay. All right. You don't even need to talk. Then new coach, new quarterback.
How many wins do I have so far? Because I feel like I have too many.
You have a lot.
Right now, you are at 9-5 going in.
What? 9-5?
15.
Okay. Well, that works.
Yeah. Week 15. Oh wait, 9-4 because of the bye weeks. Excuse me.
Oh.
Yeah.
Math. Well, well, week 14 is a win, so it'd be 10-4 then, right?
Well, all right. So you have 9 wins.
How is that possible? Let me see. 1.
No, don't question my math. This is not what everybody's tuning into.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 9 wins.
Laurie has 9. I have 10.
Okay, so
and you have 9. I'm not counting the losses. I'm only counting the wins.
So I'm 9-4. I got you.
Yeah, 9-4. Yeah. 3 with the bye week. You got to take the bye week out.
So my losses were the Jets, the Chiefs, the Falcons, and the Chiefs.
You are 4. I'm 9-4.
I'm 9-4.
Well, when we get to the end, we can reconcile. Like you're confusing.
You're confusing me, Jess.
I'm the one keeping track, and somehow you're able to confuse me. I can't even imagine people that are watching this live. They're like,
Broncos
what are
versus
they doing?
Bills. Moving on.
This could be on Saturday or on Sunday.
It'll be on Sunday.
They don't know. Yeah. I want the Broncos to beat the Bills. Every time I find myself rooting for the Bills, they let me down, and they're going to beat us. Like that's just kind of the relationship I have with the Buffalo Bills is that they let me down in every way possible. So,
yeah, I think what we have going for us is this one's at Mile High, but I'm picking a loss too because the Bills are tough and we never play them very well. So.
I'm going to say a big W.
Win. Tim, now with 10 wins to his credit. So we are homers because 2 of us already have 10 wins and there are still games on the schedule.
Hey, we're not homers. This team's pretty good. People are, just because we're on the bandwagon first doesn't mean the bandwagon doesn't exist. That's all I'm saying.
Doesn't mean the bandwagon's not going nowhere. That's what I'm saying. Broncos at Chargers. I'm going to go ahead and say we sweep the Chargers.
Win.
Me too.
And we sweep the Raiders. 2 more wins.
2 more wins. 12-4. I didn't want to get 12 wins, but I got there, so it can happen.
Oh my gosh. Okay,
I've got 11
and then the last game is the Raiders. So Tim, you say win against the Raiders last game. My birthday. Happy birthday, Jess.
Yep.
Okay,
absolutely. You're not losing at home to the Raiders.
Yeah.
You want to wish me happy birthday?
Yeah.
Okay.
Happy birthday.
I'm going to go ahead and wish myself a happy birthday. So there it is. Okay.
So 12-4, 12-4, and 11-5. Is that what we got?
How is it that I am the pessimist in this group?
Because your Pittsburgh Steelers game. Come on. Steelers suck.
All right.
Okay,
Switch
good
it
I
to
always
a win.
feel like Steelers still. It's like your thing with the monkey off your back. Like the Steelers are a behemoth that we.
You know, it's
No,
You
but
know-
we've owned. Like the Steelers aren't really that big of a deal.
you know what's
Like,
funny?
lately-
We own them in the playoffs, but in the regular season, it's a different story. But the funny thing is I actually voted 10 to 11 wins in the poll on the site. So, you know,
You're
Somewhere
nothing
in
I
there,
about
you
think
just
I
got
think
more
they'll win 10, 11
optimistic.
games. But when I look at each game, I'm like, oh yeah, we could win that game. Oh, we could win that game too. So, you know, you can always find a way to win games. You
Is
know.
now when we rewind and play our predictions from last year.
No,
where we
ever,
were,
don't
where
ever
we
go back.
also, We also
13
predicted it's like 12
13
to
and
13.
3.
We were. I think Tim had an undefeated season last year. He was really feeling Joe Flacco.
Oh.
All right, I want to do the live. I want to do the Broncos schedule release video. So I'm gonna share my screen here and see if I can do this. I'm gonna go
Have you
to.
watched it yet?
All right,
No, I haven't,
Are
but
you
I'm gonna
sure
do
there's
it
not
live.
squares or naked people?
It's the Broncos.
It's the Broncos.
We did have a naked guy in a barrel for most of our history. Honestly.
He kept the barrel on. He kept it on.
You know.
Oh my
Nobody
gosh,
saw
guys.
and they crawled under.
All right, I'm gonna see if I can set this up.
Is
I'm gonna
this
go.
allowed? Are we allowed to do this?
I'm just gonna watch. I mean, they tweeted about it.
That's fine.
Sure.
It's
I
out
love it.
there.
We're promoting them.
Oh, whoa! I've gone into the Matrix. Whoa.
Ooh. Oh, look at them with the
Yeah.
1980s graphics.
Wow.
Yeah, let me get that in there. There we go.
That you should maximize. Look at all that. Those. How many porn tabs you got open there, Tim?
That's called live blogging there, buddy.
Oh,
All right,
okay.
let's watch it. Let's watch it.
All right, let's watch.
Whatever happened to predictability? The milkman, the paperboy, evening TV. Did I get delivered here? Somebody tell me, please. In this old world,
And then you lock fell through the ice, and he's throwing a snowball.
Everybody knows you're true. Then a little voice inside you whispers.
Yeah, eat it, little kid. What?
That was awesome.
Yeah. That's live. Yeah. Well,
I think that was something.
It said Studio 58. That's a killer band.
Oh, look.
Yeah. It's like, what does the audio do this? Like, I kind of imagine like Full House, like kind of like.
I can't even hear you guys. It's so loud.
Oh, yeah. No, we're not.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Right.
They got drunk Elway, dude.
No.
What were they doing?
That's
on a
drunk
scooter,
Elway,
does it-
dude.
Just because he's on a scooter means he makes poor decisions. It doesn't mean that he's drunk.
I gotta rewatch that. I'm dying, dude.
We couldn't hear any of the sound though.
You can't hear the sound?
No, we can't hear anything.
Oh, well, everybody else can, just
I've
not
been
you.
narrating this whole thing.
I guess everybody else can hear it.
No, I don't think I can. I don't know.
You should be able to, because
I don't know how you did it, but you've frozen your cursor on the screen.
Look at oh, I cannot believe they did
He's got
that.
the white pants on.
Oh my gosh, dude.
I do love that. I do love the 80s look here. Like
Yeah, the standard definition Denver.
Yeah. All right.
I like the work. Something.
Okay, that was crazy. That was funny, though. I really
So what
enjoyed
kind
that.
of music was it? Since Jess and I were just talking.
Well, everybody else could
Was it
hear
the Full
it.
House theme? Because I
Yes.
was imagining the Full House theme. It was the font that. Look at there.
You're on video.
Oh, there's a guy.
Hey!
Going
It's the
swimming.
This is the bikini portion of the contest.
You know,
What the hell is going on over there, Tim?
Oh.
it's
You
warm
know,
here.
Did you guys see the Broncos tweet today where they tweeted out a screenshot of all the defensive backs who were meeting with Steve Atwater on Zoom, and they just did like a screenshot of.
Yeah, I saw that.
So it's so funny if you look at it to see which, like, you can tell who knows how to use Zoom, because like two guys had backgrounds, like one had a space background and one had something else, and
So my Zoom,
everybody else just had like their living room, or their wall. So funny.
Here lately, I use Zoom too for work, and I have one that's from outer space, so you see like a comet in the background and stuff.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, nice background. I'm like, yep. I decided it was time to leave the planet.
You do
this is how I'm
the
quarantining.
joke that everyone does, where like they pretend like they're choking, like.
No, I didn't do that. I'll do that next time, just for you, Jess.
Yeah, no, it's people. You're not the first to do that. I'm on a bunch of Zoom calls, and like the backgrounds. Like at first, I was kind of like, oh, that's fun. Now I'm just like, come on.
I know.
It's like all the tweets that were coming out today of like, sources say Broncos will play 8 home games and 8 away games. And okay.
Or the
Good
Broncos
job.
will play, in February.
I know.
Or like, yeah, that'd be great.
Only because I'm the guy that's there refreshing Twitter going, give me my leaks. I need my schedule leaks. So I'm one of those guys. So when, people tweet out, oh, breaking news, source, I'm like, I hate you.
Yeah.
You're ruining my life.
I'm surprised that you weren't duped into one of the fake Adam Schefter accounts. Usually on
I'm
days
getting
like
good
today,
about that. I'm getting good about not falling for fakes. But, I did misread Woody's tweet last night and, published a post about it.
Oops. So wait, what happened? All right, in that instance, what happens? Like, so you're like, oh, I am wrong. And then you go in and...
I just put original story and then update, keep my mistake.
Update. Don't read the...
Yeah, don't read the original horribly mistaken post that I wrote.
That's okay.
What I said, in today's world, what you said yesterday doesn't have to have any bearing on what you would say.
And,
today.
mistakes happen. It is what it is. When you write as many posts as we do, you're never going to be perfect. But we try.
I am less than perfect.
Well, that's too bad because I'm not. You guys. I am perfect.
You strive for perfection in everything that you do, all that you do. Okay, so...
Which is why I was relegated to the basement office instead of the Von Miller room today.
It's always an upgrade so long as you're not in your mom's pantry.
Although the sound quality was elite.
I know, that was the best sound quality we had. I'm heading back to the pantry.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true. Although I am curious what the wire is going up to the flag behind you. Like you've got some strange wire.
Mm-hmm. It's
what is that?
Security video. You guys are all now under surveillance.
It's you got it set up so that if the wire's cut, the alarm goes off because someone has stolen your flag.
That's right. That's right.
Protect the valuables that matter.
Right.
Okay, so here's the serious pandemic question of the day. What percentage do you put on this schedule being played as presented today? Like, how likely do you think that is?
As presented?
As presented, full 17 game schedule.
0%.
I mean, it's...
With the preseason and everything?
No, just the regular season.
Did they not release the preseason schedule?
They did. They did.
Yeah, did they? Who do we have in the preseason? We didn't even talk about
just
that.
A bunch of the same teams. Who cares?
Did we get the Hall of Fame game?
No, of course not.
The Bears and the Cardinals, the same people we always play.
So they're going to play in a month? Yeah, right.
Rams. We play
a month, it's May.
I know, but a month and a half.
49ers, Bears, Rams, and Cardinals.
Here's the thing.
Cardinals.
California... hasn't California still... They're not backing down yet on...
I have a feeling California's going to want to shut everything down until middle of next year. I get that feeling from them.
Just to keep people alive?
I know.
What? So responsible. It's so crazy that they would want to keep people from getting sick and die.
Anyway,
But they can still have the games. They can still have games without fans, though. I think that's what I was talking about when they may not allow even that. There was some. I read some tweets last week or the week before that, hey, California is like, they're not even talking about opening things up for private gatherings. So a team would be a large social gathering, right? So,
well, the
you've only got
NFL
like
is not
50.
going to let it be.
What is it?
Like, if some states can't have those and others can, I mean, the NFL is going to make sure it's the same for every NFL
they
team.
already said nobody gets to start anything until everybody can start.
Right.
No competitive advantage for any team that's in a state like, say Georgia that, you know, is already in stage 3 or 4. I don't know. They seem to be opening quickly there. If it's the NFL doesn't care. The Atlanta Falcons won't be able to do their offseason program if the San Francisco 49ers can't. So
Right.
I think that's great. I would, in a competitive sport like the NFL, you want fairness all across the board. You don't
Right.
want teams getting whether or not they COVID-19 set aside, because teams getting together in one state could mean they end up with a bunch of cases of COVID-19. So I'm just saying from a competitive standpoint, I like that the NFL is saying, hey, nobody's going to be able to start their operations early to other teams. So that said, I thought
But you know what I wish the NFL would help push this whole idea of more testing, because that would, more testing and understanding the real situation allows the NFL to make a better plan and open up sooner. And they carry so much clout. I mean, that's so much money and so many fans, and it's everything. It's airtime, it's advertising time, it's GMs making money, it's fans having something to do. They could really push this issue if they would, kind of take the social responsibility part of this, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, they're just focused on their
And I
umbrella.
understand. Which I understand,
Well,
but if
and
for
truth
their
be told,
sake,
none of their players have had trouble getting any testing.
That's true. But I think as presented, it's 0% because even weeks 15 and 16 you got TBDs. So, gotcha.
oh, that's
Saturday
weird.
or Sunday. Well, and okay, so that's another thing is that they had talked about, basically the NFL moving in on Saturdays if college football doesn't happen. So I think that's what you're seeing with the Saturday Sunday TBDs.
Well, they always have Saturday games down here in week 15 and 16. It's just TBD because they want premier matchups. I don't think the Broncos will be considered because they don't have Patrick Mahomes on the team and that kind of stuff. So you got to have like Tom Brady's, Patrick Mahomes, Drew Brees. You got to have the elite of the elite. And
I don't know.
If Drew Lock is great,
lightening it up, they'll consider that.
Maybe
they'll move it.
I think he's a year away.
Especially like
if Saturday is wide open with no college football, you don't think that the NFL would be like, yeah, okay, guys, all right, let's go on.
Well, no, they do. They do have games on Saturday on these dates, regardless. They just don't decide which teams play until late. I think it's like week 13 or week 12.
Usually it's not us.
But I think if you're just looking at the schedule, I think everything starts on time. The big question is, will there be fans in attendance? I don't think so. I think they're going to run part of the season with no fans is my prediction. September is what, we're in early May, June, July, August, September. So 4 full months away. I think by then, maybe we'll start seeing sporting events where no fans can be in attendance in most states, maybe all states by then. That's my optimistic prediction.
Well, I think, it so much depends on what we find out over the next few months. If we're able to come up with sort of a miracle vaccine, or if some of these drugs that they're testing are going to work. But they're finding a new strain. They're finding, or they're talking about the likelihood of a reoccurrence when the weather gets cold in the fall. So we could have a disruption perhaps in the season, even if we were to start. I think there's 0% chance that this happens totally on schedule the way, any other season has happened. There will be a change somehow.
Yeah, I think so too. I think, at the same time, I'm glad that the NFL is proceeding like with an optimistic approach, and I'm sure they have contingency plans to, you know, adjust things. And I think,
Absolutely.
were you here when I talked about the 1982 season, or was that before you got in?
It was before I got
Okay.
it.
You were too busy screaming at your child.
But what I told Jess was like, if it gets into a situation where things are improving and it looks like things are going to open up, but it's going to be happening in September or early October, we could end up in a situation where we end up like in a 1982 season where they play 9 games and that's it. We still have a Super Bowl. I think the Raiders won that year, had like an 8-1 record, and then
Yeah.
won the playoffs. But that's a situation that could happen, and if that's the way it has to be, that's the way it has to be. It's not the end of the world. It's happened before. It's not like no reason to freak out. The season would just start in week 9, and if that happens, that would suck because the Broncos play at the Chiefs. I'm just speaking from a Broncos standpoint. It seems like all of our tougher games are later in the year, and I feel like a lot of the wins the Broncos will have an easier time getting are early in the season. So if we end up having a shortened season like that, I don't like it because I mean it's necessary, but I don't like it from his Broncos standpoint because it probably means they won't make the playoffs, and you know.
Oh, look, actually, if you look back at your record, if I look at mine, I had 2 losses in the first 7 weeks. So if still only 3 losses in those last 8, 9, whatever it is.
Yeah, Laurie is on the cutting edge. She only had 11 wins predicted this year, so
we all had
she's the
4 or
conservative
5
one.
losses.
Because we only had 12, you and me, Tim. So
I mean, okay, so
what I'm saying is,
Pie in
if
the
you look
sky.
at that, the Saints and the Bills are the toughest ones we face.
Okay.
Maybe the Falcons, you guys.
So I had a 7-2 record after the bye, so I guess they're still making the playoffs if they
Yeah,
win as
look
many
at
games
you.
as I
I
want.
have 6-3 after the bye.
But
I mean,
I'm being optimistic. I mean, the Saints are going to be tough. The Bills are going to be tough. You got the Chiefs. I don't think they're going to play well against the Falcons, even if they're the better team, even if the Broncos are the better team. And they got both games against the Raiders, and they're both games against the Chargers. So you're going to have 5 division games in the final 9 games. I mean, I want them to win, but at the same time, weird shit happens.
Every team is going to be in the situation where they're, delayed getting to start their practice, delayed starting their install, like all of it. So here, the teams who are going to do well are the teams that don't have brand new coaches to do a brand new install and have great veteran leadership.
Oh,
and so
great.
the Broncos
have neither on
They
offense.
do. The Broncos have great leadership.
What do you have against Justin Simmons?
No, I'm talking about on offense. They got Pat Shurmur's brand new. You got a really young offense that's going to need as many reps as possible. I'm just saying.
That's true, but we do have good leadership.
We have
and
Cortland
we have
Sutton, who's in his 3rd year. That's something. That's not. I mean,
We have Garrett Bowles. He's the veteran leader on that.
Yeah, moving on.
We have Drew Lock and Dalton Reisner, and I think those two, honestly, are, even though they're both young, have all the right stuff for being good leaders, and they have a year in. So, and especially Dalton Reisner, quite honestly.
Well,
I mean, I think
plus
they signed the captain.
They signed Graham Glasgow, who's a veteran leader too. And by the way, he has a Twitch channel. He's been playing some games here in the off season. So G Glasgow is how you'll find him on Twitch. He
right,
seems
Graham,
like a
come
fun
find
follow.
us. We're talking about you. We're giving you
Justin
power.
Simmons plays on Twitch too. He plays some games on Twitch too. So find his account as well.
So you're right about having a new offensive coordinator for sure. Like that.
Yeah, and then Drew Lock, 5 starts. There's going to be growing pains. I'm trying not to be optimistic, and I know I predicted 12 wins. Realistically, it's going to be like 9 or 10.
To go to 13.
Oh,
I can't go to 13.
Realistically, it's still double digits.
It is gonna be a tough season for everybody.
Yeah.
Really, it just is. And so
the future is bright though.
Here's the other thing: we have freaking Von Miller. That guy could not be more optimistic, and he had COVID-19, so he's gonna be like, "Dudes, I got this. we're good. Like I can tell you what to do.
Here's where my
Just 'cause he's
optimism
superhuman doesn't mean no.
my
No.
well my
Go
optimism
ahead.
my optimism is coming from the Broncos front seven. That front seven is going to be so freaking nasty. I don't know how teams are going to have any kind of sustained success, because you got Jarrell Casey in the middle, with Shelby Harris, Mike Purcell, Bradley Chubb, Von Miller. I just like, who are you going to block? I'm excited about the defense. That's probably why I went with 12 wins, even though I think there's going to be some growing pains on offense. The future is bright with the offense, but I think that defense is still going to, they're going to be the under the radar. Like everybody's like, oh, this offense is so stacked, and that defense is going to come out and go, yeah, we're still here, by the way, and they're going to be pretty damn good. I think they'll beat the Chiefs this year. I know I predicted both losses, but I feel like
We talked him out of it, Jess.
I feel like we're going to beat them in the playoffs.
hey, that could happen.
Well, I mean,
You know?
that's all that's left, Tim.
2022.
You've discounted the Denver
You
Broncos
know,
every step of the way, except for
every
what
step
we
of the
don't
way
know.
to 12 wins.
Yeah, whatever.
Oh.
Oh boy.
It's kind of racist. Just a little. Anyways, so all right, so I have a mystery question for you guys.
Okay.
Now that we know the schedule, now that we can get excited, we know what the year would look like if there wasn't a pandemic. What gets you going? What gets you excited if you are in your car and you turn on the radio and you hear a song, any song? Is there a song that gets you like, oh man, I love the Denver Broncos. This song makes me think of the Denver Broncos. It could be, AC/DC, the Thunderstruck, when they jump out of the plane at Mile High, like that, that could get you going, or Gary Glitter, Rock and Roll #2, the Hey song, there could be that, or anything really. Like, is there any song that you guys love that makes you think Denver Broncos, and why? Yep.
So I can go.
Bon Iver.
I'm not big into music, so I'll go with Incomplete.
That is not a song that you would hear in the
it's a
car.
melody.
That is terrible. Okay, I'm gonna go to Laurie while Tim Googles personality. Go ahead, Tim or Laurie.
Oh,
That is not a song.
This is an unfair question on the spot. You have to give us time to think
But
about
we are the
that.
champions.
Yeah. So
I just came up with two, like on the fly. Like, really, this is hard. This is a hard question.
The
Like,
first
what
one,
song
the
makes
first
you
one you
think
named is the one I'm gonna go with. What was the one? What was that?
The
what did you
Bon
say?
Iver.
Yeah. That,
No.
I don't know.
All right. Well.
How's that a mystery question? That's like a
Well, because it's
mystery,
like, what
like
song makes you think of? It could be the freaking Fox song, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, or the CBS, or Monday Night Football, or like what's his name?
I don't have a Broncos theme song. I really don't.
You don't have a song that's like, I think of the Broncos when I hear the song.
I
Really?
mean,
Okay,
when I hear
well, I
NFL
have a
films, I get
song.
excited about Broncos football.
Yeah, every song gets me excited about the Denver Broncos.
So here's one that I wouldn't say like I always like the hype video things that they do are always the best for getting you excited about the Broncos. Like all those like kind of sports hype songs that like when they're running through the tunnel or whatever. Like they're kind of used for a lot of sports, not just the Broncos. But
Defense.
when the Broncos play in Super Bowl 50, I had written a post about like I did a playlist, of songs, and I picked songs that I liked at the time that reminded me about different players or different like kind of parts of our game, like so things that had to do with the defense or had to do with running the ball or whatever, flying high, all kinds of different things. And so today, because it still comes on the radio quite frequently, I always hear the Renegades Renegades is the song by Ex-Ambassadors. Anyway, that song will always remind me of the Super Bowl, because I use that song as like my like kind of my, I don't know, my mantra for CJ Anderson, like just run like a renegade in this game because we're gonna need you. And so that's why I use that song, and it comes on so often that every single time I hear it, it reminds me of Super Bowl 50, and that's always a good memory.
Well, for Super Bowl 50, the song that makes me think of it, and it's probably, this is kind of, I shouldn't admit this, but it's Coldplay, the doom 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 doom.
Because they were the halftime show.
Yeah, they were the halftime show.
Yeah.
And like for whatever reason, like I was able to watch it, and just that dude like with the timpani, like boom, 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 like, so yeah, so that to me, like I hear that, I'm like, oh, that's the Super Bowl. Like, that was great. But I will tell you this. For me, and it's a damn shame, and I'm sure there are people watching right now that will agree with me, that have been to games their whole life in Denver, and used to be when the Broncos scored a touchdown, they would play Rock and Roll Number 2 by, unfortunately, Gary Glitter. Like Gary Glitter is the guy, and like the history of this song is rooted in Denver. Like so they started playing the Hey song, hey, hey, during a Colorado Rockies hockey game in like I'm gonna say late 70s, maybe early 80s, and so that started in Denver, and then the Broncos took it up, and so every time they scored a touchdown for like a million years, they played it, and then they found out that Gary Glitter was like some terrible person, and he is a terrible person, but that does not mean that the song does not mean a lot to a lot of people. And now the Chiefs play it, but they play it by a different guy, but it's the same damn song, and now the Chiefs stole our song. It makes me crazy. However,
so why did you bring that up?
Well, because this is the song that makes me think of the Broncos, and so for years and years and years, anytime they scored, you'd hear that song, and then they stopped it, and then they started like doing like this weird Kanye thing, and then they tried to like get like kind of like this. They had like the Broncos will win the Super Bowl. Like they had different songs that were just terrible. Like they had remember when the ska, like the Big Bad Voodoo Daddy kind of thing happened? Like they tried to substitute the Rock and Roll Number 2 with this, and it was awful. It was just terrible. So my buddy got married.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You don't know what I'm talking about?
No. I don't think anybody does.
The Hey song? You don't know the Hey song?
I probably, but not with you calling it the Hey song.
Well, no, it's Rock and Roll Number 2. You're gonna Google it, and you're gonna be like, oh, I know that song. Oh,
yeah, probably.
Oh no, don't I feel silly? Anyway, all right.
So
I will leave it there.
Well,
I will leave it there.
One thing I did notice that we didn't talk about is 5 of the 8 games, 5 of their 8 final games are against AFC West opponents, and they don't have their first AFC West game until week 7 against the Chiefs, which I thought was interesting. So
Jess and I kind of touched on that. Like it looks like they have designed this so that if we can't start on time, most of our division rivals are in the second half. I think.
I thought there were some division games in week 1, but I might be wrong. I haven't looked at the whole schedule yet. But I was just shocked. I was like, dang, 5 out of 8. I mean, I know we make fun of the Raiders and the Chargers, but division games are no joke. They're always hard fought. The teams know each other well. I mean, to have 5 of your final 8 in the division, that's brutal.
It's gonna be hard watching us beat the Chargers without watching Phillip Rivers cry.
It is. It will be.
Oh, we don't play the Colts either.
But see, like, I bet if you look,
My God.
obviously the Chiefs and the Chargers, the Raiders have us twice, the Chargers have us twice, the Chiefs only have us once, but so obviously we're all playing each other in that second half mostly. So I bet it's the same for the other teams.
Maybe they're keeping it regional. Like, do you think it's like in case? I don't know. I don't know. I would love to know the thought behind it. Like,
no, because we're going back and forth. We're going California, East Coast, California, East Coast. Yeah.
Well, I mean, with regard to like the divisional schedule, like maybe they have it weighted there just so that people are on their side of the country.
Yeah, I'm looking at this schedule now. In week 1, I'm already seeing 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9
I don't know
division
what you're
games.
counting.
I'm counting division games in 9. So 9 out of the 9 games on week 1 are all in division. Um, so there's that. And then week
So
2, there's
we are
division games
wrong.
too. Yeah, there's 1, 2. I mean, there's a lot of division games in week 2 as well. 2, 3, 4.
Well, but what we should do is look at the Chiefs schedule, or
Chiefs
look
play the
at.
Chargers in week 2.
We need to have Joe Mahoney on here. He can break it down, share his screen, get some sort of like it'll be like that
he'll
show
have a
number.
chart.
Yeah, exactly. Like
It does look
he
like the
can
Broncos are
see through the
unique on
matrix.
this. I'm seeing a lot of division games in the first 3 weeks here. I don't want to go through all of them, but I already saw the Chargers and um, was it Chiefs? Yeah, Chiefs and Chargers in week 2. So there's I just thought it was weird. Week 7's the first AFC West game the Broncos play. That's definitely unique. I wonder if it's the latest first division game of the year. That's something we might want to send Joe Mahoney's way. Because I don't know how to parse that data.
I'm sure there is something.
You'll be like, I've got it, no problem, done.
Here's the chart.
So for those of you that don't read Mile High Report, you should. We have a special stats guy, and he is amazing. His name is Joe Mahoney, and he just every morning, like a morning paper, like it just shows up in our chat room, and he's like, "Here's quarterback." Well,
mic off.
Here's quarterbacks from 1976 through 2010 who were left-handed, who liked chocolate, and it's like plotted out, like, and it's just like, wow, no one asked for that, but that's pretty amazing.
It is like the ESPN research guys. I never, whenever there'd be a game, someone always has some strange stat about how many games were won on a Saturday in December when it was snowing before 11 a.m. Like
when beer had run out in the stadium.
Yeah, right.
Mic on.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, is there any parting thoughts we want to have on this schedule release spectacular here on Twitch?
Well, playoffs,
No?
baby. Here we go.
No? Okay, so Laurie, you're gonna stay on for like 8 minutes after we log off, right? It's just to, I mean,
Hold down the fort.
You gotta log.
Yeah.
You gotta get the
Right,
time.
I have to have as many minutes.
I mean, Pim can sign your time card if you need to, but it's HR.
I can. Yeah, sure. I'll do some TikTok dances for everybody.
Yeah,
we got-
yeah. Well, no, just play rock and roll number 2 and be like, oh.
Yeah, I'm gonna play Renegade. I'm gonna play my song. Come on.
Do it. All right, fair enough.
Well,
Tim never came up with a song. He's like, I like the incomplete chant.
I'm not a big music person.
Oh man.
Disappointing.
Hi, Andrea.
I thought about prepping you guys with this because I came up with it yesterday, and I was like,
You should have.
This is
You
a
totally
good
should have.
song. I should prep you guys, and I didn't. So, on that note, you guys next week will have to have a good answer. So
Well,
no, I seriously, this is to be continued. This is such a good question that I can't believe you guys
I don't like
screwed me on this.
I don't like music. I'm facts and figures guy.
You don't like music?
I'm not. I mean,
I
I'll
mean,
listen
who
to it when
doesn't
I'm
like
working.
music?
I like it when I'm working, like if I need to focus. But
Well, what do you listen to?
Yeah, who doesn't? Come on.
Yeah.
All right, I'm with Jess on this. Like, music
Yeah.
totally gets me hyped for gay. Like, especially when I'm telling you, when they do hype videos and they've got. It doesn't even really matter what the song is, as long as it like matches with the intensity of the of the game and the competition. I'm totally all over that.
okay, so here's the thing. So when I'm looking at like Broncos highlights on YouTube, if I come across a hype video or like if I'm going to look for like 2015 highlights or something, if it's like got music and stuff, like I don't really care for it. I want to hear the crowd. I want to hear the intensity of the moment more than I do want to hear like hype music in the background. But that's just me. You know, I like music. I listen to music all the time. You can't just put me on the spot and say, what music makes you think of the Denver Broncos? Man, I don't know. Any music, just put
Yes,
something
I
on.
can. Yes, I can. There are people who listen to this and they're like, "Oh yeah, no, I mean seriously, like that song, absolutely, like AC/DC, no, yeah, Broncos, yeah." You know, I mean, there are plenty of options because every football game has music, like everyone.
I just want to
Multiple
hear
songs.
75,000
Multiple
Bronco
songs.
fans going apeshit. That's music to me. I love it. So that makes me feel Broncos right there.
That is a terrible answer. So okay, so Tim, this is your homework. Everybody, you got some homework. Think of what song makes you think of the Denver Broncos. They're your favorite team, a team that you've devoted a lot of time to. You probably listened to a lot of songs while you've written articles about the Denver Broncos. There might be one that comes to mind. Now, like Tim's just upset. He's just chewing on his lip. He's like, "Shut up, you bastard." All right. Well, on that note, should we call it? Is that it? Any parting thoughts? Any last-second submissions by Joe Mahoney? Any sort of analysis?
I will say we're running a poll on the schedule, and most people agree with Laurie. 10 to 11 wins. Only 10% are with the 12 and up crowd, Jess. So we're in the minority.
It's going to be a historic season.
I hope so.
For amazing.
I hope so. We'll see. I'm excited.
I hope they play
happy.
the whole thing and everybody's healthy and we don't have to worry about coronavirus and it's all going to be fine.
That'd be ideal.
So, you have been listening to Something Something Broncos schedule release spectacular live on Twitch. Thank you for sticking with us. Thank you for finding Laurie and sending her our way because we were worried that something had happened to her. We are all contributors on milehighreport.com, your one-stop shop for all things news, education, stats, and schedule release, and draft shows, because we can hear ourselves in our headphones and we get confused. Our eyes go crossed. So I apologize for that. This was our schedule release spectacular. Follow Tim at Tim Lynch 1978 on Twitter. Doc at DOCLLV on Twitter. And I am at Jezru. You can read all of our stuff if you want to. And if you don't, that's fine too. Subscribe to our podcasts wherever you get your podcast. Mile High Report. Cheers to you and yours.
Go Broncos.
Go Broncos.
4 looks into the nickel of San Francisco in the secondary. Hey, somebody has run out on the field. Some goofball in a hat and a red shirt. Now he takes off the shirt. He's running down the middle by the 50. He's at the 30. He's bare-chested and banging his chest. Now he runs the opposite way. He runs at the 50. He runs at the 40. The guy is drunk, but there he goes. The 20. They're chasing him. They're not going to get him. Waving his arms, bare-chested. Somebody stop that man.
Here comes the blue coat,
Oh,
Kevin.
they got him.
Here
They're
comes the
coming
blue
from the
coats.
left. Oh, and they tackle him at the 40-yard line. That was the most exciting thing to happen tonight.
I tell you what, that was a great call on your part. That was a great call. All right, I'm ready for the last 11:31 now, Kevin. Let's go.
Look at the police. They've surrounded this man like he is, like he's just robbed a bank.
I tell you what, he got a whole lap in before they got him. I mean, that was pretty good. I expected him to go down much sooner.
Yeah, but I hope it was worth it, my friend, because you've got a night in the clink coming up.